Okay, I'd like to call this a special meeting of City Council to order. It is August 12th, 2024 at 7:12 p.m. Addie, would you call the roll?
Posh.
Here.
Maddox.
Here.
Larson. Here. Petrus.
Here.
Russell. Kuda.
Here.
Cobb.
Here.
Okay, Vice President Russell is excused. She's at a labor conference in California. Amendments to the agenda? None. Approval of minutes from previous.
My apologies, I meant to remove that item.
But we will have extra
On the 19th.
on the 19th. Very good. And I just want to urge everybody to, if you do want to go over those minutes, I know there's like a lot of them. It was like 5 meetings or something, but that would be added on to whatever's on the 19th agenda. First readings for consideration for adoption. Go ahead, Annie.
I have ordinance number 141-2024 on first reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to convey 1 permanent and 2 temporary easements to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for planned improvements to 9 Mile Creek along Belvoir Boulevard, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure.
I have a
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Next, I have resolution number 142-2024 on first reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an amendment to an agreement with All City Management Services, Inc. for crossing guard services to extend the term of services, providing compensation therefore, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. First readings only.
I have resolution number 143-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Carly Beck as a member of the Climate and Environmental Sustainability Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by President Kuda. I have resolution number 144-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Mohammed Irfan as a member of the Climate and Environmental Sustainability Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, again introduced by President Kuda. I have resolution number 145-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Sean Terry as a member of the Climate and Environmental Sustainability Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by President Kuda. I have resolution number 146-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Fern Hott as a member of the Transportation and Mobility Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by President Kuda. I have resolution number 147-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Gail Lewin as a member of the Transportation and Mobility Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by President Kuda. I have resolution number 148-2024 on first reading, a resolution appointing Sam Bell as a member of the Transportation and Mobility Committee of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by President Kuda.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Second readings?
I have resolution number 128-2024 on second reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit, accept, and enter into any agreements with the United States Department of Transportation for a grant under the Safe Streets and Roadways for All Planning and Demonstration Grant Program to fund a Cleveland Heights comprehensive and equitable safety demonstration project, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure, introduced by Mayor Sarin.
So moved.
Do we have a second? All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes.
I have resolution number 129-2024 on second reading, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with GPD Group for utility engineering services associated with the replacement and rehabilitation of water lines on Altamont Road, providing compensation therefore, and declaring the necessity that this legislation become immediately effective as an emergency measure.
So moved.
Councilman Cobb?
Yeah, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to amend by substitution resolution number 129-2024 to substitute for what is in the current packet amended resolution with the same number with proposed date of August 5th, 2024, which corrects the amount of the compensation from $66,388 to $94,307. And I understand that the clerk will be putting this new proposed amendment on our website after the meeting tonight.
So
Second.
moved.
So I believe Cobb made the motion, so we need a second.
Second.
Oh, there we go. All right, any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the amendment? The amendment by substitution?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well,
You may. By substitution. I don't believe there was.
So moved, sorry, that's what yeah, got it out of order.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Passes. And we don't have anything else, right, before us? All right, with that, it is almost 7:20. This meeting is adjourned.